What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the cave. And breaking news, I mean, it's a couple days ago, but I want to talk about it right now. Robert Saleh is now the new head coach of the Tennessee Titans. And I'm going to say this right now, hot take, he's in a way better situation than he was when he was with New York. Now, there's a lot of things I'm going to talk about. I'm going to try to talk about the Niners too with it because it does impact the Niners in a very big way. But let's talk about what I believe is a pretty good signing from the Tennessee Titans. You have a coach that I'm not going to say necessarily has proven himself as a coach. Yes and no, he has. In the defensive realm, he has turned his defense around during that time. But overall, you have a better situation. You have a better quarterback than you had the mess over there in New York. And you kind of have a little bit more control over there. I do believe so. But comparing that to the likes of New York, I do believe his New York tenure was cut very short to the likes of Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is the reason why that tenure was cut very short. He did not like him. It doesn't matter what they did because they bend the knee for him. They gave him what Aaron Rodgers wants, and Aaron Rodgers still wasn't happy with that. But Robert Saleh turned that franchise around defensively. If you look back at his tenure over there, his defense was a top five in scored defense and all purpose defense. It was really good defense. And then when he was fired and Jeff Ulbrich took over, it was a bottom tier, I think it was like ranked 27th overall at the end of the season. So it does matter in his presence. But I do believe when you go into the situation he has right now, he has a young defense. Not only that, he has a top five pick. I believe they're number 4 in the draft. So he's probably going to go defensive heavy within the draft and build the culture around the defense. And you have a quarterback that I believe is going to be very good. I do think Cam Ward can potentially be a top 10 quarterback in the next 5 years. It just really, really depends on how you look at things. But with the situation at hand, it's really good. There's a lot of problems going to this. You have to work on your offense, O-line. You got to get receivers. Defense, you got to get a new D-line. You got to get it's not established as it was in San Francisco. San Francisco, you had Fred Warner, Nick Bosa, Michael Williams, and that draft class they had previously, the Niners draft class that just passed, was pretty good. You don't know what you're getting with this, but I do believe a lot of this could be fixed within the offseason and in the draft. I do believe it's going to be a defensive heavy draft for them, but also you can get your offensive weapons in the free agency, which I do believe they might do to help Cam Ward get the second season woes out of the way. But especially with another problem is you're in a very competitive division. You have the likes of Indianapolis, you have the likes of Houston, and you have the likes of Jacksonville, and it just seems like it's all compiled. It's all going to be just competitive. Now, I do believe Jacksonville should be the favorite to win this coming up for their division, but you have to go against an all fucking historical defense that the Houston Texans had put up. And that's going to be ridiculous. I do think that. And then also great coaching. Now, Indianapolis, they might be down to being a property franchise. I really don't know. Maybe Danny Dimes was a one season wonder. Who really knows? But I do believe this is a very interesting division when you look at Robert Saleh getting put in the mix with this. Now, do I think Robert Saleh is going to knock it out of the park first season? No, I do think there's going to be some first season woes, but I do believe he does not get fired because of his quarterback or anything like that. I do think this is a better ran organization from the Jets, but it's the Jets, so you really can't do much there. Sorry, Jets fans. Now let's talk about the San Francisco 49ers and how this impacts them entirely. When can we get stability in the defensive coordinator position? Because my God, this is what, the 4th different defensive coordinator now after Robert Saleh left in 2021? Because it was during that time, it was Robert Saleh, DeMeco Ryan, Steve Wilkes, I'm forgetting last year's, and then back to Robert Saleh. You've had 5 and almost 5 seasons at some point. And this is the thing that sucks with the Niners coaching tree. It's all basically like this is the standard of how good Kyle Shanahan is a coach. He has brought up his coaching staffs to be really good, to be enough to where teams want to be like, we'll want them as a coach. Well, I would definitely want him as a coach. And it just sucks, man. Like, and people want to complain like, oh, the Niners defense has never been this good. It hasn't been good in a while. It's true. Why? There's no fucking stability at DC. Yes, you may have the talent, but the schemes are different. And now I do believe Gus Bradley might be the front runner for it. I'm not really something for that. I really don't think bringing another person in-house is going to do anything for them. I mean, the only one that hit it off the park was D'Amico Ryan. Other than that, I would honestly go look for like Brian Flores. I really would like Brian Flores to be the next Niners defensive coordinator. I think it's a whole new scheme, and I just think he is the right guy for the job, but who knows? But as of right now, I do think this is a very interesting thing. I don't believe the Niners drop off completely because they're losing Robert Saleh. I don't know what pick they're going to get with Robert Saleh, but it should be something pretty decent, probably like a fourth, fifth round pick or whatever the case may be, especially if he's going to start taking some of his staff with him too. I don't entirely know, but I will say this is very interesting for the Tennessee Titans. I do believe the Titans may be competing for a wild card spot in the next year or two, possibly this season. But I will say there's a lot of work and a lot of problems that need to be dealt with the Tennessee Titans. But I do think it's a better ran organization than you had with the Jets. So, what are you guys thinking of Robert Saleh's tenure with the Tennessee Titans, and what could he possibly bring to the table besides an already good defense? Catch you guys next time.